Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? We are back. Man, I kind of want to apologize, first of all, for missing the last few days. I was just so sick, man. I really couldn't just get out of bed at all, you know? But it's good to be back. It is good to be back. So, let me just give you a TLDR of what we're doing today. First of all, I successfully... Oh, here it is. So I completed the 100 points objective in BGs. So that's awesome. I really wanted to get that out of the way. And I've never been able to go for the 200 points, so I don't have to stress about that. But this was good to have gotten done. I've, since we last met, switched alliances. I am in Aaron Abdo's alliance now, or as you know him as Intoxicated Gamer. So hopefully we're gonna have some fun. And yeah, dude, I just wanted to chill today. I just wanted to do some arenas. We have Universal Movies in the chat saying hello. Yasser, hello my friend. Thank you for stopping by. How's it going? How does it go? Okay. 15 hours. You know, this is my first time doing arena in a long time. So I don't know how long it's gonna take. But hopefully I have the roster to get all the objectives in today's live stream. We'll find out. Alright. Yasser is asking, bro, when will we get the 7-star crystal to be updated? You mean the basic 7-star? The basic 7-star is gonna get updated. So first of all, let's go into the crystal pool for a second. So the new Titan changes in 30 days. So the 6 champions that leave the Titan pool will come to the basic pool in the same time. So if you're asking for when the next 7-star basic update is gonna be, it's gonna be just over 30 days. If you're asking for when the massive 7-star pool is going to be changed, that will be sometime in December. So in December, they're going to add like 27, 28 new champions. And these are champions that have been introduced through events over the past 2 years. So your Reunion, your Rebirth, your Glorious Guardians. Yeah, it's going to be sometime in December. So not this one. If you're saving for that, continue to save. And yeah, man. Did anyone hear about the new November update? Alright, Yasser, no worries. But yeah, the November update is an interesting one, man. So first of all, they said that they are permanently terminating the rebalancing program, which is interesting. I'm honestly glad. I don't know in the video that I uploaded whether or not I talked about the rebalancing program, but I know for the long one, I definitely did. And personally, I think this is a great move. The rebalancing program needed to go because what this was doing is essentially the rebalancing program was never giving players any edge, in the sense that whenever a champion was underperforming an attack, the rebalancing program basically did squat, right? And what was happening is, like we saw with Jessica Drew, is that when the champion was in favor of the player base, Kabam now had an excuse to nerf this champion and take away abilities. In the meanwhile, they never bothered to buff champions with new abilities. Like for example, the biggest quote-unquote success of the balancing program, right, was the Patriot buff. And we waited 1 whole year for that dude to get buffed, and what we got was such a letdown in terms of just what that champion was intended as, which is a photon counter. And here's the thing, Photon can be countered by any champion in the game if you can play it slow enough. So the real Photon counter we needed was for Battleground. Someone who can just nuke Photons left and right. Patriot wasn't that. He's not fast enough for BGs. So his buff was basically just a waste of time in my opinion. And now they've said they're gonna buff Deathless Vision, and they're gonna buff what's his face, the new Falcon, Joaquin Torres. And honestly, that's again one of the things that I had a problem with, which is that this buff program was not doing anything immediate for when we needed it to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to honestly wait for a whole 6 to 8 months in the hopes that a champion might get better. I want to know right off the bat if a champion is good or if the champion is bad. And if that doesn't cut it, maybe we can revisit that champion with a proper buff a few years down the line. And another great thing that this does is it takes away Kabam's incentive to introduce BS champions into the game, because the community is basically going to just put up with it for a long time until the rebalancing news would come out. And then more often than not, the community is disappointed. Like, if the rebalancing program did what it was supposed to do, we should have gotten a nerf to both Serpent and Dark Phoenix, which we didn't. So clearly it wasn't a balancing program to begin with. It was for Kabam to launch underwhelming attackers and just see if the community bites. And if they don't, within 3 months, they put them in their buff pipeline, hoping players won't be upset for another 8 months when they keep pulling these ridiculously useless champions. And then vice versa, when it comes to defenders, they just got to basically wreak havoc with whatever they felt was interesting and not care about how the player base is going to feel about it. Because if the feedback was too bad, they basically just can say, oh, well, you know, we'll talk to you after the rebalancing. And that was not a good thing. So I'm glad that it's gone. I think now we're going to be more realistic in our champion evaluations without hoping for nerfs or buffs after 3 months of the champion being launched. Alright, we got Andrew in the chat. Andrew saying, hey Arcade, it's Count Willis. Enjoy streaming. Count, what's up, my dude? How's it going? Thank you for dropping by, dude. Thank you for dropping by. Yikes. Another one? Are you kidding me? My god. What the hell? Oh god. Hey, I appreciate you showing support, my friend. That really means a lot. Thank you. And if you're kind of playing MCOC in the background as well, I would love if you stick around. Don't have to text in the chat, but I appreciate that you did. You can just chill. That's what I'm doing. I'm so done with Battlegrounds, to be honest. It's just nice to take a break and get back to streaming. Like, I feel like even though I was sick, I could have half-assed myself into a stream. But because I knew I had to do BGs, it's somehow like, it's another hindrance to my lazy ass having to run BGs, especially while streaming. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I'll just take the day off and work on a few videos. Which I did, but I haven't completed the VO. So it's gonna be a while before those videos come out. Hopefully not too long. So if anyone in the chat cares, the videos I'm working on right now is a tier list video. And this is not necessarily a tier list like some other people like to make, which is like evaluating the champions for different game modes and stuff. It's more of a, like, again, my whole point with starting YouTube again was to have a more interactive conversational live stream. And so what I planned is I created a few assets, and I'm going to create a Google Drive link with all of those assets. So it's one of the backgrounds for the tier list and all of the champion portraits that I picked up from, well, mostly the Khonshu website, which is a great resource, by the way. And what I'm gonna do is I've created a tier list that I think is like my top God tier champions and my A and B tier champions. And I want to talk about why I feel that way about those champions and why I've given them those rankings. And then I want people who watch it to download the assets from the link and create their own tier list. And what they can do is they can tag me on Twitter and we can have a nice chat. You know, like, people should be able to easily share their preferences and what kind of champions they enjoy without feeling like they have to make a YouTube video about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hope it works. I hope it's fun. People like it. We'll see. But yeah, that was the spoiler for the coming video. But I'm curious to know if how people felt about the November live stream, because there was a lot of stuff that they announced at the live stream. And wait, why am I? And yeah, man, it's like, it's feeling like one of those months, you know, where there's just so much stuff coming out that it's gonna be a non-stop content dump for the MCOC community. Like, I feel like the next 2 months, all of your socials, like YouTube and Twitter and Reddit, if you're on Reddit, is gonna be full of people talking of the new thing that just dropped this week. Plus we have some exciting champions that are coming out as 7 stars. My boy Nimrod is one of those champions, as I give him a beat down here. So it's gonna be fun, man. Bard, what's up, my guy? Oh, I'm so glad you were able to join, my insomniac friend from Poland. What's up, dude? How's it going? I appreciate you dropping by. Alright, Bart saying, what is up? How you doing? Feeling any better? I am feeling better, yeah. Like, I've been feeling better yesterday. I was feeling better yesterday as well, but like I was saying earlier, is that I'm just so sick of BGs that the thought of streaming BGs kind of discouraged me from sort of going live. And I just decided to work on a few videos and take a rest day. Like, I had a very bad stomach bug and my migraines were acting up at the same time, so I was like extremely uncomfortable for the past 2 days. And when you take meds for like most of this stuff, it sort of ends up making you so drowsy that, yeah, if you had any energy to work or do anything productive, that's just out the window. But yeah, man, we are back. We are hopefully going to have a few people talk about what they thought about the new November live stream. Ooh, we got Elijah Brown in the chat. Elijah, what is up, my friend? Saying, in between episodes of Welcome to Derry with the family, figured I'd drop in and drop a like. Hey, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I saw a couple of tweets on my timeline talking about how, like, there were no spoilers. People were just like, what the hell am I watching? And it was like the Welcome to Derry show. So I'd be curious to know what you think and if it's worth watching. Is it from the It universe? Am I guessing it right? But yeah, man, I'd be curious, because I don't really have any shows that I'm actively watching with the missus, so it would be nice to have something. Ugh, that man thing is gonna be a pain, isn't he? Well, well. Bart saying valid points, can relate, but having a similar thing for a week last time too. Yeah, Bart, I'm completely with you, man. And it's not just that BG's is hectic by itself. It's like, even when you kind of put that aside, I feel like it's getting repetitive because of the way Kabam has now launched all of their champions to be 1v1 counters, which is like, it's just a drafting contest, you know. It's like a contest of counters instead of contest of champions. Like, I can't outscale most fights. I have to have the right counter to even have a shot at taking down defenders in BGs. And it wouldn't be so bad if it had variations, but I feel like the most you slip up in BGs is against the same type of champions over and over again. So yeah, like, BGs is having a moment, I'll say that. BGs is having a moment, and if Kabam doesn't get into the good graces of players soon enough, I feel like the game is not headed in the good place. Alright, Elijah Brown saying, yeah, the first few episodes were interesting, slightly awkward in the first 10 minutes, watching a demon baby. What? Yikes. Okay, that probably could be why I saw that tweet, which is like, WTF am I watching? But yeah, dude. And you're watching it with kids. Eee. I mean, you can always tell them this is what happens, stay away from boys or something like that. I don't know. Because I remember I grew up in a convent, right? So it was a Catholic school, and our teachers basically when we were like in 9th grade, they had to have the talk with the kids, right, about being sexually active and whatnot. And I kid you not, they essentially tried, so they separated the boys and the girls into different classes. And for the boys, our sports teacher, the only guy teacher in the whole school, what he did was show us pictures of STDs and said, this is exactly what will happen to you if you even try to do you know, you get my point. I don't want to be too vocal about this stuff in case there's kids watching, but and for girls, we had a few friends who said they basically told them, you will die. They were like, you will die. We have seen it happen with a lot of kids. You will die. And I was like, what the hell? So I don't know, maybe Welcome to Derry is like that for you guys. You can just be like, yeah, you will die. But anyway, Elijah Brown, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. He had like printouts and it was so strange because a couple of printouts he had were like black and white, and the couple he had were also colored. And I'm like, at what point did you decide these ones need to be colored for them to get the whole point? And these ones need to be, oh god, oh god. Elijah Brown saying, me and my buddies called the Purple Mountains majestic. Hey, don't be so graphic, Elijah. No. Oh my god. That was a crazy time though. It's very cliche, but I completely understand now why people say you miss school when you grow older. Because I definitely miss school. Like, I don't miss college, I don't miss my uni or anything, but like school, I miss that a lot. The environment. But yeah. Crazy times. Speaking of crazy times, dude, the Summoner Fest is coming up. It is right around the corner, which is going to be... Oh man. I don't know. It's quite... It's like... It's quite nerve-wracking for me to meet people for the first time, you know? Like a lot of the YouTubers and people that I know, quote unquote, from live streams and stuff, they've already attended some sort of event with each other. So for them, it's like just hanging out with people they know. But for someone who is going there for the first time, it's always like, oh, I'm gonna meet them for the first time. What's that gonna be like? I hope I'm not too awkward. I hope they're open to talking to me. And plus, I've taken on this challenge of vlogging the whole thing for the YouTube channel. So, all right, Elijah, I appreciate it, man. Go watch your show, finish it up. I will probably be here for a couple of hours today. So, if you want to take a break and come say how you're liking the show, I would really love that. But if not, I appreciate you having stopped by at all, so thank you. We got Lilo Dallas in the chat. Hi Ali, how are you? I'm hoping it's not too busy at work for you today. I hope you have a good break also. But okay, we have, let me see. So the chat is slow, so I'm just gonna try and, so there's this community post on the MCSD forums talking, someone has summarized what we have coming up. So let's see. All right, so first of all, there's going to be another Saga Incursions, which is cool, I guess. I think if the rewards for this Saga Incursions are just as good as the one they had right now, it would be worth doing. So December 3rd, that's still quite a bit far away. We do have a new Alliance Wars Showcase that's coming up on Friday. So November 7th, we have Alliance Wars Showcase with the hashtag Fantastic. That's going to be, I'm guessing it's like the Fantastic Four Saga Showcase, so that would be fun. And I feel like I read somewhere that it's going to be like cosmic and science, but yeah, Alliance Wars Showcase Saga is like usually fun. It's just I don't like that they've still left it to... The rewards are still like 6-star based. I kind of hope they were selectors. Like even rank 1 to 2 gems would be worth more, I feel like. But we'll see if they update them this time. There's a new side event that's coming out on November 12th. So they're going to have 1-minute timers on fights. You have to intercept to get Furies. And basically it's like a time crunch. So do as much damage as you can, and then if you die, you just restart the fight. And we'll see how the reward system for that will be set up. They didn't say much, surprisingly. But yeah, we'll find out. We have a Deadpool event coming in December, which is, again, it's too far away. No one cares about December right now. And then we have 7-star Yondu and 7-star Super Skrull coming into the game. I will say I am not looking forward to seeing a 7-star Super Skrull, because he's just another one of those annoying defenders who is completely useless on attack. And I think they kind of gave him a tune-up alongside when they did the Yondu buff. And yeah, it's just made him more annoying on defense, nothing else. Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, they're now also going to reduce the prices for the 7-star sales, which is one of the things I talked about in my videos. So if you haven't seen the monetization video, you should go ahead and check that out. It's episode 5. And I talked about how if they're doing champs for sale, they should lower the price to make it more accessible. because the price that they've set alienates such a massive player base, and it milks the whales a little too hard, in the sense that eventually that pricing model is not sustainable whatsoever. But they're also going to make them available for units, which is 10,000 units. So I think it's going to be some sort of a tier system. If you spend 10,000 units, you can pick one of them up. Which I guess that's cool. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not really excited about either of these champions, and the fact that this is kind of like a pay to get event, the excitement level is even lower. All right. Alex is saying, you're eating chips on my break. Yet to watch the episodes 4 and 5, but I'm excited. Yeah. 4 and 5, what's the fourth one is actually the most relevant one, I would say, for players. And episode 5 is more like for the community and for Kabam, but yeah. Alright, we got Bart saying we've got Glorious Guardians, and I'm really excited to see who's going to be another champion. My bets are Hulkling and Scorpion. Maybe we'll see a buffed Silk or buffed Skill or Mutant. That would be awesome. Bart, so you are correct. We are going to see a buffed champion from the skill class, and we don't know who it is. So we know 7-star Absorbing Man is coming, right? And we have 7-star Jane Foster. We also have a skill champion that's definitely coming. We just don't know who it is yet. And if I had to guess, well, it's more of a prayer than a guess, but I really, really, really want to see 7-star Kingpin. Dude, I think 7-star Kingpin might be the champion I end up spending money to get, because I love Kingpin. I think he's one of the best skill champions in the game. I like him more than I like Kate Bishop, just because Kate Bishop is more broken, whereas Kingpin just feels like a really strong dual threat. But yeah. We shall see. And I don't think the 7-star is going to be a buffed skill. Again, it's one of those things that we'll have to wait and see, but man, if a 7-star Scorpio comes into the game, that would be really, really exciting, because Scorpio was one of the strongest science champions when he came out, but now it feels like he might not be as fierce of a BG's attacker. But again, 7-star numbers are kind of insane, so it's curious to see if he's still gonna be one of those champions, you know? Oh, we got Zemo in the chat. Zemo, what's up, my dude? Dude, you are like one of the few people who keeps helping me with Alliance chat, and I appreciate it so much. But yeah, man, long time no see. I have surely missed streaming, and I wanted to take the edge off of having to stream BGs. So I just figured, let's do Arena, let's just chat and talk about what the November update is going to be. Plus, I was just playing BGs before the stream, and I completed my 100 points objective, which was really good. I'm also done with the Battlegrounds, what's it called? Side event objectives, and I have a Titan from that. So that's cool. You know, I'm honestly considering, considering just opening a Titan or two, because I'm like close to, I have like 5 Titans at this point, and I'm pretty sure that number is gonna go up in the next month, and I don't know how much I care about all of the champions that are coming in. Like, if I just got an idea, man, I pressed my special button, but for some reason it just didn't click. Alright, we have Bart saying that would be sick. Also, BG is back. Who knows if this Realm event would be about bald Giga Chads Dude, you know, I was watching Legacy's video this morning and he said the same thing, which is like, we got the bald streamer come back. Well, technically, Brian is not bald. I think we all know that. But he does rock a bald cap. And I think he has sold that bald cap to a bunch of champions in the game. And we already have Absorbing Man, who is also rocking that bald cap, which means I feel like absolutely increases the chances of seeing Kingpin. We got IKMCOC in the chat saying, "What's up? Hey man, appreciate you stopping by. How's it going?" All right, Zemo saying, "I got you. I'm always online pretty much because of the alliance, but I mainly use Discord." Yeah, I actually thought that 4BGs would be using Discord as well, but then Apto was like, "Add me online." Dude, I also sent a ticket to Kabam asking if I redo the incursions, will I qualify for the rewards? And you were right. They said that because the milestone was reached before I joined, I won't get the rewards, which really sucks, dude. I really wanted to pick Mojo from the selector, and yeah, I feel bad that I don't get it. It's because Apto messed up bringing me in sooner, because he told me he's gonna have space for me right after the season, and then he somehow didn't reply, or like he didn't reach out after. So my alliance people were like, "Can we get a few people to do this? Can we get a few people?" So I ended up doing it way before, right? And oh, sorry, not for incursions, but for AQ. I got confused there. So I ended up joining and helping out in AQ, even though I was trying to hold out so I can join before your AQ week started. But yeah, anyway, it's not interesting. I'm sorry. All right, Zemo also saying, "Save your Titans for December. It resets mid-December." Not even mid-December, Zemo. It's just 31 days. So first week of December, we'll have a fresh batch. But it's just that I don't know how many of these champions are as interesting to me anymore. The new batch that's coming out, because I think Pavitra Prabhakar is the champion I want most. And he might not be in the Titan. I think it's going to be the new champions. So we got Silver Samurai, we got Mr. Knight, we got Dracula, Frankencastle, and I think Cassie Lang is going to be there, and Lizard. So yeah, we'll see. I'm still holding strong though. I don't think because again, the thing is, I don't have anyone particularly from this pool that I want either. Other than maybe duping Nico, I really want to dupe Nico because I am in dire need of a prestige bump. But we'll see. Alright, Zemo saying you have 120k shards and you're probably going to be closer to 160. Yeah, I think I'll probably be closer to 120 or 140 myself. But we'll see, because we don't know how many shards are up for grabs in November exactly, right? Alright. IKMCOC, I do see your chat. Just give me a second. This Kingpin is going to kind of... Alright, let me just get rid of this. I love Ebony Maw's heavy attacks, dude. Oh, come on. How? How does that happen? Oh, come on. He's not down? Oh, that was clutch. Okay, this is why I didn't want to read your text, because I would definitely have lost that. Alright. IK saying YouTube hates my capital letters in my name. It's LK. Oh, LK. My bad, dude. My bad. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it's hard to see if it's I or L because it's the first letter, so I assumed it's a capital I, but yeah, LK. That makes more sense. All right, Zemo saying he's a champ, a pass only champ. Yeah, the Mystic Spidey, right? Yeah, I think he's gonna be a pass. No, I think he's eventually gonna come into the Titan Bull, but I think it's gonna be the March update because that it was the same way for what's his face, uh, Beta Ray Bill. So he also was in around the November pass, I think, when he came out, and then eventually we saw him in March. So I think Mystic Spidey's also gonna be in the March Titan, not sooner than that, because they want to still sell that Platinum Pass. I don't know if I can somehow get this channel monetized up to 500 subs and stuff. Maybe I can pick up the Platinum Pass, but we'll see. Alright, Bart saying I'm still waiting for my alliance to finish these incursions. Like, we're at 6 out of 15, not even 7. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why people aren't actually trying incursions, because these are honestly the easiest ones we've had. Like, you don't even need to have good champions. It's just 1-star symbiote Steve. So, like, if there was ever an incentive to do incursions, it would be now. This Hulk is probably my least favorite of all of the Hulks. Like, I would take a 7-star Gladiator Hulk over this fool. I just hate this playstyle. Alright, Zemo saying, so because my prestige is so high, I get 18.5 shards on the EQ every month. And next week I'll have over 230k 7-star shards. Oh, wow. Wait, Zemo, you're also coming to the Brawl. I kind of forgot about that. Dude, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to meet you. And you're gonna have people open them. That's cool. I'll try and film that. You know? Maybe you want to upload it for your YouTube channel. I could, like, make sure you guys are in the frame. And maybe you could do, like, a POV shot of your phone. And I could hold, like, the reaction of the people opening it for you. I can help you out. Because I'm planning to vlog the whole thing myself. And my girlfriend is going to be helping me as well. So, yeah, man. I would definitely love to help you if you want. If not, you can do your own thing too. Completely cool. But regardless, it'll be fun to meet. Alright, okay, saying you will definitely get there. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay. So for the EQ thing, so currently I'm here, right? I'm just over 27k prestige, which is like, yeah, just over 13,000 shards. And the next tier is 28,500, which is 1,300 away from where I am right now. So I'm at 2722. So that's a big bump. And I could get there, or I could get significantly closer with Carolina Dean, because she is top prestige. She's not in my top 30 right now. My top 30 ends with Rintra, and Carolina is just under that. So if I dupe her, I can take her close to Sig 80, I want to say. I don't know how many points they'll end up adding. Maybe just like 300, if that. But then I can also take her to rank 4, because right now, okay, let me show you. So right now I'm super close to a tier 7 basic, right? If I were to dupe Carolina, I could buy the remaining tier 7 from the Radiant store and take her up to rank 4 for the prestige bump. But if not, then I can just do this month's EQ with 27,100, and then I'll have enough tier 7 basic from that to take up a rank 4. But yeah, so it's like all about how patient I want to be with this, you know? All right, Bart saying I'm asking myself the same question. Like, people don't want to play as much, but like even when we decided lately to not get into Alliance War that much, but not even getting Salted Nexuses will suck. Yeah, dude, because it's like what, only 4 days left? Yeah. Ugh. I'm sorry, dude. It sucks. I don't know if you will. Do you remember? Like, I don't want to rub salt on your wounds, but like, I got 2 7-stars from both of those exalted crystals. Like, I duped like, it wasn't the best champion necessarily, but I duped my 7-star Joe Fixit, which was a first time dupe for me, so I'm really happy. And I duped my 7-star Vox, which was amazing. And it justified me taking him to rank 2. So like, and I've seen people on YouTube open like 3 7-stars out of the exalted Nexus crystals, which is massive, dude. The 7-star pool has some amazing champions, and because we don't see Nexus that often, it's, yeah, I would definitely ask people to push just for that. But if people don't want to do incursions, like, you can't do anything about that, dude. And I feel like a lot of negativity in the game stems from the fact that people continue to push themselves in Battlegrounds and not other game modes. And then we end up having this narrative of the game is too boring or too sterile or stuff like that. Whereas, and I understand where they're coming from, because the way Kabam has... Okay, here's the thing. Right now, the best store, in-game store for purchasing resources, is split between either Battlegrounds, right, or Glory. Now, if you're not in a decent alliance that does map 7 or map 8, which I have a feeling not a lot of people do, you then are only left with Battlegrounds. And unless you are a endgame player who's pushing Battlegrounds, Radiant Store is also kind of out of reach. So then there is another exciting and very interesting game mode called Incursions, but Incursion stores are just 3, 4, 5, 6-star crystals. And these are not even interesting enough crystals. Like, who gives a damn about 3 and 4-star Incursion crystals? You know what I mean? Like, my girlfriend started playing this game a few months ago, and within like 1 month of playing this game, she was already on 5 stars. And she was only getting past like Act 4 and 5 at that point. So people who want to experience other game modes, Kabam is not making it easy with like this crappy ass store. Like, what is the incentive for playing Incursions? If this was just as good as the Battleground store, they have another game mode that people can actually have fun in without consequences, because you can play them solo if you want. And yeah, you can just spend those Incursion artifacts to buy resources. But why did I go into war? But I don't know why Kabam chooses to do the things they do, but anyway. We won't get into that too much. But yeah, having said that, this month, Incursions are honestly the best place to spend your time and resources. Like, even if you have to spend a couple of revives, which if you're playing really well, I can assure you, you don't have to spend anything. But let's say hypothetically you have to spend like 3 revives, right? So that's like over 250 units. The amount of rewards you get, not only from completing the incursion zones, but from the side event, like a whole season of playing Battlegrounds can be compared to just doing incursions. And yeah, it's like, what can you do? You know, you can't convince people. about how good Incursions is when the game mode is essentially DOA for most of the year. Alright, Zemo saying, I use Incursion artifacts for rates tickets. Dude, I am gonna have to do that as well, honestly, because I stocked up on Alliance War potions because I'm definitely gonna need them if I'm gonna play Platinum Alliance War with you guys. So I'm kind of out of loyalty at the moment, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do Incursions every time they come out now just to get the raids ticket. But at least it's just once a month, right? So it's not the worst thing. Alright, Bart saying, I gotta talk with my folks because it's only one run. That's all it takes. And if we won't get it, I refuse to talk to my alliance mates for the next month. I know, dude. You should ice them out if they don't do... Like, you know what's funny is that because so many people need to do this, people can actually team up in incursions. And you can get 2 incursions done at the same time. And you can have the other person carry you through rooms when you're like occupied. And then the other person can now jump in and they can do a few rooms because like I don't think they have nodes anymore necessarily if you do incursions with a friend. So like you can carry each other and get double the points for essentially what will be one incursion run. So, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think this is the best incentive we've had for incursions. And if it was present in any other game mode that even required, like, crazy amount of units, people would have talked about it more and done it sooner than they seem to be doing incursions. Because I missed out on the last 2 rewards, which is the rank 2 gem and the selector. Because the alliance I was in didn't complete it and it wasn't looking like they were going to. I don't know if now they might have, but since I switched alliances, that reward is also gone for me. But yeah, we do have a few people watching, 10 of them. If you haven't hit thumbs up on this live stream, please do so we can attract more viewers to the stream. And yeah, we do have a 7-star to open at the end of the stream, so hopefully this one is the one. You know, this is where I get my onslaught. We'll find out. We'll find out. The luck has not been... If I get another blade, I will quit this game. I swear to God. The last 2 7-stars I opened on stream was just blade back to back. So hopefully that's not what happens again. Alright. Honestly, man, arenas are fun. I saw... I think it was Mystic K. And she posted a little graphic about units for Cyber Weekend. And it's the first time I realized that if you get all the objectives from arenas, you can get close to like 3,000 units, I think it was, from the month of November. And I was like, God damn, I need to do this. So yeah, definitely expect a lot of BGs, a lot of arena live streams going forward. Alright, Zemo saying Blade 6 are good. He needs at least 80 if you like him. And Zemo, that's a big if. Because I do like Blade, but I don't think he has any use in the game as it stands. And ranking him is honestly just going to be a waste. Because what can Blade do that Okoye doesn't do better? You know what I mean? Or my Elsa doesn't do better. Or even a bloody Kingpin as a 6-star doesn't do better. Because the one place I would like to use Blade would be Event Quest, because that regen is what makes him a sustainable questing champion. But we don't even have that anymore. It's one fight and then moving on. So, like, who cares? All right. Bart saying, why would you say that? Kabam are listening and they'll 100% give you Wesley Snipes. Dude, they are always listening. They are always listening. That is something that we can't hide from. You think just because I don't say it, they don't already know what champion not to give me? Alright, Zemo saying he does slay villains like Enchantress and dimensional beings like Rentra and Chavez and others. Yeah, you know, after I got that Blade dupe again in the last stream, I went back to check what dimensional beings exist in the game that he would be good for. Mind you, for villains, he still needs the CGR synergy, Zemo. So, like, again, in event quests, I can't use synergies. You know what I mean? But for dimensional beings, let's go and check it out. Is Dark Phoenix a dimensional being? That's curious. Let's do 6 stars. Let's do dimensional being. Alright. Yeah, Dark Phoenix is not a dimensional being. Should I do 7 stars? No, it's the same thing. So, like, the only defender that I see here is Rentra, and any science champion can take Rentra. And so she's a villain. Okay, so Bart is saying that she's a villain. So if you want to take her down in war or something, you could use Blade. I have Nico in war if I need it. Like, I've placed her on defense for now. But I figured if I don't end up needing her on defense, I will always have Nico who can take Dark Phoenix better than Blade ever could. And also, I would most likely use a hood before I use Blade. I feel like, for Dark Phoenix, if I have to use someone else. Oh, Nico is banned in war for the next season? Great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I feel like you could still use Okoye for Dark Phoenix. Or, like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be worth it. We'll see, depending on if I have to take up Blade. I'd be happy to. If it gets some use out of him, I would be happy to, because I really like Blade. He's a very fun champion. And I think as a 7-star, his damage is definitely there. With his bleeds and everything, so, yeah. Alright, wait. We got Zemo saying he also works on future Ant-Man, and it's not CGR, it's OG Ghost Rider. Also, OG Ghost Rider is getting a buff. So, we don't know when it's going to come out, because we haven't even heard about the X-23 buff yet. So, yeah. Alright, Bart, if OG Ghost Rider is, like, really good. Speaking of OG Ghost Rider, what do you guys think is going to be his buff? I can guarantee you it's going to be, like, Fate Seal or something that counters Serpent and Dark Phoenix. Like, I'm telling you guys right now, we're gonna have so many Mystic counters that we're gonna start seeing Serpent and Dark Phoenix not exist in people's roster in the next 6 months. I can almost guarantee it. Like, every champion, every Mystic champion is going to be a Dark Phoenix and Serpent counter going forward. Because what's his face? Pavitra Prabhakar, the Mystic Indian Spidey, is already a Dark Phoenix and Serpent counter, just from the tiny glimpse of his deep dive that I saw. So, like, yeah, I don't think those two are long for the meta, honestly. But anyway, we got Bart saying, gotta rework him at one point. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna work on that because I might have a good idea on what to do. Yeah, that would be a good idea, Bart. Like, I know you guys are doing new champion buff ideas, but some old champion buffs would also be really fun. And I feel like Blade wouldn't really need too much changed in his kit. I think you can immediately buff Blade in a very simple way to just give him a persistent charge, like a pre-fight ability, and he can activate his danger sense once per fight or quest. That's all you need, honestly. You don't need anything else. If you can just have that, I think he is immediately a A-list champion in the game again. Because his danger sense gives him the attack boost and ability accuracy reduction that just, like, if you can just use that in Battlegrounds, it's game over, you know? Immediately a super meta champion. He shrugs off debuffs really fast. So his SP2 through block with as a 7th star with Pierce is gonna be brutal. So you're gonna want to bait his SP1, which is a very long animation, by the way. Oh my, Gentle the goat, bruh. He's so good. Alright. Zemo saying Blade is him. Trust. He is quite fun with the power back boost and power start 1. I can definitely see it, but I don't know, with War being what it is, with just having like 3 champions, unless CGR's buff makes him really good, is it worth justifying that spot to just have a synergy champ? Like, I don't know, I'm genuinely asking if you think it's worth it. Alright, Bart saying, I'm guessing Lifesteal or Neutralize because Serpent is immune to Fate Seal. Is he immune to Fate Seal? Huh. So Hood's Fate Seal doesn't work against him? That's crazy. Alright, Zemo saying people are ranking him up for Tier 1 Alliance War, so I think it is. Ooh. Interesting. We're gonna see a Blade comeback, low-key. Alright. Alright, Zemo. You've convinced me to look into him for sure. I think... Man, now I don't feel so bad, honestly, about having duped him. Because I think he's 660 now. So... Yeah, man. And his regen is honestly OP. Like... We don't see champions with regen in their kit anymore. And Blade's regen, like the control you have over it, I think is one of a kind. The closest regen champion that we've seen has been Anti-Venom, who I've loved, by the way. I love Anti-Venom's regen and how sustainable it makes him. I love using him in Alliance Quest. Man, the special buttons feel so buggy lately. I feel like I press them like all the time and there's like at least a 2-second delay between me tapping the screen and it actually working. Alright. Bird saying you're gonna do about 5 buffs in the incoming months. God damn. If only Kabam worked with that kind of a timeline. Alright. Dry Ice. Hey, what's up, my dude? It's been a while. It has been a while since I've seen you in my stream. Thank you for dropping by. How's it going, man? Alright, Zemo saying make sure if you do give him a Black Widow relic. Really? Oh. Wait, because of the ability accuracy reduction. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Dude, I really want to dupe my 6-star Black Widow relic so I can have 2. I am missing so many of the Battlecast relics. 6-star ones. Da, 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 da. Where's the battle cost? There we go. Can I do like unowned? Yeah. Like I don't have the Ant-Man one, I don't have the Thor one, I don't have the Storm one. Sinister I don't mind, honestly, but these three I would say, and like the 6-star Battlecast relics. Battlecast relics in general were so good that I feel crappy about not having all of them. And then even if you look at the standard ones, like none of these are duped, which is insane to me. But yeah, the only one I really want to dupe is Black Widow, because she kind of needs that dupe on her signature ability. But yeah, man, like the Thor relic and Storm relic, I still have the 5-star Storm on my Silver Samurai, and I would love to give him a 6-star one. Alright, Zemo saying give the 6-star to Go Chad Bones. He is him. I don't have a... Why do I keep going in war? I don't have a Crossbones 7-star. And I don't think I care for him, honestly. I'm not good with Crossbones. Like, I understand how strong he is, but the way people play him on YouTube that I've seen is so crazy. I just don't feel like I could do that. Like, bridging the gap with light attacks and then punishing specials and heavies to keep that fury up. I ranked up my 6-star and took him to Sig 200 for Battlegrounds, but I keep getting either awful luck with the furies, or I keep failing to get a pause on the furies with his heavy and special punishment, that I just ended up dropping him and never using him. Oh. By the way, speaking of skill champions and the Black Widow Valek, who do you guys think is good as a rank 3, especially for the next meta? Is it Black Cat or is it Mole Man? Because I'm gonna take one of them up. And I've played Mole Man a little bit at rank 2, but I honestly don't like him. Like, I don't like playing champions that are very parry heavy reliant. And then I kind of feel like it's a stupid thing for him to lose his ability to shrug off debuffs when he's in his frenzy mode. Like, I think that should have been something he has regardless of which mode he's in. That way you can basically keep the frenzy higher, like up for longer, if he keeps shrugging off debuffs, you know? Like, shrugging debuffs is the one thing skill champions do. Why is it disabled when he's in frenzy? Which is also the mode you want him to be in as an attacker. There's so many backwards things in this game that I don't understand. Alright, Zemo saying that if I can use him, then so can you. I'm not the greatest at intercepting. Well, Crossbones is not as much about intercepting as he is about punishing heavies and specials. And that needs, like, it's too technical. You know, like the way people do the spacing thing with the light attack. Zemo's also saying the biggest thing to learn how to counter your opponent's specials and heavy with your heavy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Bart saying maybe some citizenships too, because having only Canadian or Wakandans as the only two countries' flag feels kind of weird. I mean, we are getting an Indian champion. So then we also have Red Guardian, who is Russian. And who else is in the game? Well, Dracula. He's Romanian. You know? So we definitely have more than just Canadians and Wakandans in the game. Dry Eyes saying Okoye. Dry Eyes, what are you talking about? Okoye for what? The option is Black Cat or Mole Man. Okoye is already rank 4, bro. She's the GOAT. Zemo saying Black Cat for the Black Widow relic. Mole Man, the best relic for him is the Black Panther one or the Bullseye relic. You do have to intercept to gain Furies for a lot of them. Oh. So you also need to intercept with crossbones. I see. Zemo saying Yelena is also from Russia. That is correct. And technically so is Black Widow. Dry Eye saying spacing is important when playing crossbones. Yes. Spacing is everything, dude. Spacing is everything. And yeah, I like that there's a champion like crossbones for people who are like really highly skilled. I'm just not one of those people. Black Widow relic for Okoye, really? Yo. That honestly might be a hot take. Because my 6-star Black Widow relic is basically... I feel like it's being wasted. You know what champion I really love? Overseer. He's just so good. His damage is extremely underrated. The amount of photons I've taken in the last VG's meta with Overseer is just... Oh. Speaking of skill, I also need to learn how to play Zola. Oh. What am I supposed to do? I mean, this guy's not that difficult to play, I think. You just basically have to activate the pre-fight and then bait a special and then heavy in the corner to get his detonation thingies. Guys, you know who needs a buff? My boy Black Panther here. I absolutely love this guy to bits. And the only buff he needs, I swear to God, they don't even have to do anything. The only buff he needs is to give him stackable bleeds. That's all they need to do. I think as a 7-star at a high rank, he doesn't even need like damage. If he can just get bleeds that stack, I think he's amazing. He'll just have that extra oomph of damage. And he's already kind of a menace on defense, so they wouldn't even have to touch him. Just give him bleeds that can stack. So simple. Alright. Dry Ice. I'm actually gonna have to do that. Black Widow relic on Okoye. That's actually a good idea. How much does it help though? Because all it gets is precisions, right? And Black Widow's damage doesn't scale up that much. Because right now I have a... What's his face? Karnak relic on Okoye for the extra crit damage. But do you think her damage goes up with Okoye more? Because that would be interesting. Bart saying, fun fact, Professor X, High Evo, Sinister are all British. Danny, Kush, and Sheila are Native Americans. True. Zola is Swedish. And Magneto is German, and of course NC. That's true. See, you kind of you kind of countered your own point there, which is we do have multiple nationalities. Interestingly, actually, outside of Spider-Man, there aren't as many Indian Marvel characters. I was gonna say. But I don't think anyone wants Indian Marvel characters either. Alright, Dry Ice saying, did the 4.4 mil arena today for the first time. Dude, I am also doing arena. Wait, what happened here? Not that. Nope, don't want that. I am also doing arena for the first time in a very long time. So, yeah, man. Imagine, imagine ruining BGs so hard that people are turning to arenas now. How crazy is that? But since I have a few of you guys in the chat, what are you most excited about the November update? I want to know. Because this live stream is supposed to be talking about the November update. And I've not been doing that successfully. But I'd be curious to see, what do you guys think about the November update? And what's the most exciting thing for you? I feel like the new 7-star champions coming out kind of took the limelight away from anything interesting that would have been said in the live stream, but yeah. Alright, we got Sith 36 Gaming in the chat. What's up, my friend? Thank you for stopping by. We are just chilling in BGs. Oh, sorry, chilling in arenas. God damn. Whoa. I could have sworn I blocked. Ta-ta. Another champion I really enjoy is Dust. Such a good champion. Good defender, good attacker. Just all around fun design. Alright. Rentra is such an odd champion, dude. Every time I end up playing with him accidentally, he impresses me so much. And then I use him for attack in some kind of a game mode, and then he's just such a dud. And I just feel like I don't know how to use him. But, alright, I may have missed a few things. Alright. Bart saying you need more flag tags. Ooh, I see. Interesting. You know, speaking of tags, I had this thought earlier today. I was watching Legacy's video where he was making predictions about who could get buffed, and he touched on, like, the champion. And then he was like, oh, that's not gonna happen. And I immediately thought that, you know how in the champion's description, he says when fighting champions of the contest, he gets this extra buff. And they have like 7 or 8 champions listed as champions of the contest. I feel like Kabam should just make hashtag champion of the contest a tag and add it to a lot of new champions that have come out since obviously the champion came out, and that way he kind of gets a secret buff. Like, not really, but at least he's a defender against more champions. You know what I mean? Alright. Dry Ice and Zemo may have been talking about something that I completely lost. Alright, Zemo saying there's not a best relic for her, to be honest. Most people have Winter Soldier relic on Okoye. Yeah, that's what I thought, because Okoye doesn't really need anything or get anything specific from relics. I just put the Karnak one because she crits a lot, but her crit damage rating is super low. So I was just like, if it can help, you know? But yeah. Alright, Zemo saying, you know, Killmonger's bleeds can stack eventually from the SP3. Yeah, but it's not only do you have to go to SP3 to do it, you have to have 15 stacks of regular bleeds get on the opponent first. And then you do an SP3 once per fight. Which, again, in Battlegrounds, once per fight is more than enough because you only fight people once. But I feel like up to the point of you getting to 15 bleeds, if you could stack them, you could then use his SP2 Indestructible in more creative ways to tank other champions' SP3s or abilities. You know what I mean? It will just open him up for so much... it'll just open him up as a champion to so many more fights. Because right now, the only thing he has that's significant is True Strike. And the way we have champions nowadays, I feel like it's getting more and more harder to counter their specials, especially with so many of them being projectiles. You can't really counter special attacks with a hit as easily. And Killmonger's window is also quite narrow for that. Alright, Bart saying more stuff about APOC, how he's from Egypt. Plenty of non-American and non-Canadian champs, so we definitely need tags. That's a good point, dude. Like, Northstar gets a hashtag Canadian, so I feel like every other champion should also kind of get that hashtag. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't want to do that because then Red Skull and what's his face, Zola and Zemo would all have to get tags, and then when you have tags on villains, it kind of could be upsetting to some people. Like, you don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure it's something to do with that, which is like they just don't want any kind of drama, you know? When it's a monster-esque character, it's not that big of an issue if it's a villain. But if it's like crazy scientist in a robot costume, like maybe they just don't want that heat. All right, Bart saying we need more tags again. All right, Zemo saying isn't grain baking and it isn't always guaranteed. Omega Sentinel is also an Indian character. Is she? No way. How did I not know this? Really? That is interesting. Okay, Dry Eye saying looking forward to the Spider-Woman not being nerfed yet. That's pretty much it. Talking about the November update, yeah. I don't think people are honestly going to miss anything out of Spider-Woman. I feel like it's honestly for the best that her ensnare is gone. I mean, you kind of have to trade it in for attack as well, which I don't like, but overall, I feel like it's okay. Whatever, you know? Kabam has done a lot of other shady shit and continues to do so. So this is not even something that's like top 5 on my complaint list right now. Alright, Arun in the chat. What's up, Arun? Sorry I missed your chat, my friend. Saying Captain Britain on attack is better than Dust on attack? No way. No. Arun, get out of here with that nonsense. No way, dude. Dust is so good. Dust has so many immunities as well. And she has that power back with her specials. Nah. Alright. Dry Ice saying I have 7 7-star StatCast relics. How many do I have? I think I also have like 7. No, I have more than 7 actually. I have 8, I think. Yeah. But anyway, Dry Ice saying, bro, that sellout talk, she shouldn't be touched. I don't even have her as a 7-star and I'm upset about the nerf. No, I completely agree. I completely agree that she should not be nerfed, especially considering how many champions have gone through the balancing phase not being touched when they absolutely needed to be balanced up or down. And I honestly wanted to make a whole video about it, but I think Spider-Woman is a good enough character where her not being nerfed is not going to... Like, her being nerfed is not going to necessarily change how people feel about her because she's still such a good champion. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think that nerfing her was a good idea. I think not having to deal with Ensnare anymore is, like, that's good. Because her Ensnare was so unpredictable and such a stupid thing that, like, all of your masteries would get turned off. You know? You can't dex anymore, you can't parry anymore. So, like, she was a very, very, very annoying defender with that Ensnare. And as much as I don't care about the defensive aspect being taken out, I completely agree that Damn, I really like this guy. Silver Samurai, he's so fun. But yeah, I completely agree with the fact that she should have been left as is, but I'm saying that it is what it is, and I have more things that I would have, like, on my list of things Kabam is doing wrong. And Spider-Woman just wouldn't be top 5. That's all. You gotta be careful with Mr. Sinister because I always end up thinking that I can just drop that SP2 in the sun, but then he can block unblockables. So, yeah. Dry Eye saying it's a personal vendetta against her. I mean, kind of agree there, so. Bart saying, well, I guess the villain thing is a good point, though most of the villains are American. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is Marvel Comics is an American company, so, you know, most characters are American, and by extension, even the villains have to be more relatable. Because if they keep if all heroes are Americans and then they just have non-stop villains from different countries, it's gonna feel like a massive punching down scenario. But yeah, okay, Bart saying, not gonna lie, getting upset about champs getting country tags while they're villain is silly. Diversity with champs is always fun. It is silly, but it's like one of those corporate nonsenses, you know, which is like companies just don't want to deal with anything, and so they're like, we'd rather not do this than have one person say that this is a negative thing. But yeah, anyway. Aaron saying, you can't dex anymore, you can't parry anymore, you don't talk anymore. Oh god. Is that a Charlie Puth reference? We don't talk anymore. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to champion design, Kabam is definitely seemingly running out of ideas. Because it's not even that they're running out of ideas. I feel like champion design over the years has come such a long way. It's so much more fun than it ever used to be. But Kabam is never satisfied with how much damage defenders are doing in-game. And that they're just getting countered. Like, for example, if you think about the post that Kabam Crashed made about how monetization has been a problem, people aren't dying as much, so we're not selling as many units anymore. And while I understand that that may be the case, releasing champions that just do unavoidable damage just so you can bring a level of threat into the game is just anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole of ranting. But so they're also releasing a solo event with some kind of a token system that's coming out next month, and you log in daily, you get a token, and 14 tokens lets you build your own offer, which is kind of interesting. They have their build your own offer thing come up every once a month, or I feel like every 2 weeks almost, and it's like 150 of those tickets. But that's extremely expensive because you would have to have spent close to like $500 or $600 to have 150 of those Valiant tokens. So I don't expect this token system to have near as much value, but I don't know if Kabam wants to win over the community. This could be one of the ways they could do that, which is give an outstanding offer value to the player base at a time where you've come off as an extremely toxic and greedy company. But we shall see. And also Bart, that's exactly what I was referring to. Villains like Red Skull and Zola having historical references is why they probably wouldn't want to go down that rabbit hole, you know? But, alright. Arun, do you know what that BYOO stands for? Bring your own offer? Is that what it is? And he's saying last bring your own offer was unit value of around 2,000 units. That's not too much. And Zemo's saying 150 stamps is 380 US dollars. Yeah, I think for me it's like 500 Canadian, which is kind of insane. And that's not even including tax. Because here, the tax on stuff like video games is pretty high too. Also, if you don't mind me asking, Zemo, where in the States are you from? Like, is it East Coast or West Coast? Another tech champion that I really like is Lady Deathstrike. I think she's really fun. It's kind of upsetting that her damage is really weak. But I like her for non-competitive modes. Because her damage type is unique, whereas not a lot of champions are immune to it, and her heal block also stops unblockable and unstoppable against mutants, so she's like a very nice... She's like the walks of the tech class, I would say. We got Samir B7 in the chat. Hey! What is up, my friend? What is up? Thank you for dropping by the stream. Right, Bart saying, I just realized only Polish characters that could ever be added to MCFC are villains. What does that say about your country? Alright, Bart saying there's Vengeance, the Green Ghost Rider, and literal serial killer Merc Clown. All of those are Polish? I mean... what else is there to add, you know? Didn't they buff Morningstar? Is she any good now? Because the Purgatory buff was honestly like so top tier. I can't remember if Morningstar also got a buff. But yeah. Wait, Zemo saying read above to see where I'm from if you want to know? Oh wait, did you already say that? Oh, you're Midwest outside of Chicago. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, my bad. I didn't see that. There's like 4 people in the chat, and I still am so bad at reading chat. Alright, Samir saying all the banquet buffs are top tier, to be honest. I agree, dude. I think the batch we got with Medusa was honestly so good. Especially if you compare it to the new batch that came out. With like Cull Obsidian stealing the whole limelight of that batch. and then there being Night Trasher in the same pool, and they have the audacity to say that this is a buff. I'm like, no, it's not. Is it? Where? Is the buff in the room with us? Like, what is what is that? Okay, I've exhausted my rank 3s. Should I move to... Wonder if I should move to the other arena or... we'll see. Zemo saying it's okay, you get used to it, Arcade. Yeah, I get... eventually I will be comfortable enough to be able to manage chat and doing arenas, but... You know what was, funnily enough, the coolest thing in the live stream? The skit that Brian made for his comeback. I was honestly very Brian. And I'm excited to see what he's been cooking up for the last year, dude. Because, like, not doing... I know he's definitely not... So there's two possibilities, and none of this could be confirmed unless Brian confirms them. But just like for fun, what I'm speculating is either Brian was busy with a personal project, right, of some kind for the past 6 months, and then decided that he wanted to now start streaming again, and it just happened to time well with Kabam and their Summoner Fest that he's doing a collab thing with them, or he actually went on to work for Kabam and has been working behind the scenes on something for the past year, which we will now see in the Summoner Fest. My money, honestly, is on the second one. I wonder what you guys think. Because I think if he's been working for Kabam, there's something really, really cool that's going to come out of it. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. That's probably going to be the limelight of the Summoner Fest. Not limelight. Like, it's going to take the spotlight at Summoner Fest. But yeah. Alright, Samir saying Sentry got too much hate on release and then everyone realized he's insane in long form. That is true, dude. I absolutely adore Sentry. He is so good. And here's the thing. I don't even think Sentry needs to be in long form that much. He can do even short form content. And he needs like maybe 1 or 2 fights to become crazy in terms of his damage. But even without that, he's one of the better champions who have been buffed lately. And like, I would take Sentry's buff over, honestly, Yondu's upcoming buff. You know what I mean? Like, forget the Rebirth champions, because I feel like even Viv Vision was like extremely underwhelming for me, just because they didn't actually change anything with her. So it's like, why did you even bother putting her in this? You could have just released her on the side. And Anti-Venom, I think, is a much better buff than most people realize. And all of this stems from the fact that Kabam have kind of crippled their own game by making it so BG's focused that people are not investing in other game modes. You know what I mean? Like, if AQ and AW make a significant enough comeback, again, like the currency video I made, I gave a very strong suggestion that they should completely remove loyalty from the game and shift to permanently having glory as the alliance mode reward / currency. If they would just do that, then all of a sudden, I think the interest in doing war would go up. Because between that, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, and Incursions getting a buff, we could have a very solid game mode balance where people aren't just obsessed with Battlegrounds 24/7, and thus all champions that are insignificant in Battlegrounds don't immediately become irrelevant. you know? All right. Let me go back a little bit. All right. Arun saying, Kabam, we want you back. BG, I don't want to. Kabam, here's your creator code. Brian Grant. No. That would be. Listen, okay. I personally, I have been watching Brian's live streams for God knows how many years. Even when I was not playing the game, I would turn on Brian's live stream on playback every now and then just to like, just for like that community aspect of loving that guy. I can give you a written guarantee that if Kabam even forget create a code, if Kabam offered him straight up like $1 million in cash, it would not make him come back to the game if he didn't actually want to come back to the game. Like, again, I know you probably are just kidding, but I'm just saying, like, there's no way a creator code would make any difference at all when it comes to BG. But anyway, Samir saying, I doubt he's been working for Kabam. He's already said many times that he would never do it. Samir, I don't mean like working for Kabam as like an employee, but like working as like a special project collaboration where he's cooking something up with them. You know what I mean? Like he's designing a certain event or something interesting like that. That was what I was thinking. Not like an employee like Dave or Mike, but more like a special project, because we are seeing that they're coming up with something. You know, they got the egg event coming up, so yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Zima saying, I don't think he is either. I agree. Yeah, like not like an employee, guys. Do you not think that he maybe was doing like a special collab thing is why he's been missing? I mean, we can find out. We're gonna find out pretty soon, but it was just something I was thinking. It's like it would have to be interesting enough for him to do something like this, you know? Like it's not just another CCP challenge in game. Like he was in the live stream, he's in the Kabam HQ office. Like it has to be something bigger than just a small tiny event quest on the side. That's just what I'm thinking. Again, I could be completely wrong. But okay. Arun saying he was just busy with personal life. He could be. Honestly, he could be. Samir saying BG is married and a solid bit older than pretty much every other content creator. Well, not every other, I would say. Because doesn't Vega have kids? Like even Abdo is probably around the same age. Yusafa is also at least like in his 30s, maybe more. I wouldn't say necessarily older than every other content creator, maybe in Bean years, but yeah. Wait, Zemo. Samir, I don't think he's married anymore. Wait, what? No way. Is it? Do you want to elaborate on that? Or... Damn. Okay. Samir saying that could be true. Maybe that's why he was so secretive. Maybe. Again, like, that's a little bit too personal for us to maybe speculate about. So maybe we'll just drop that line of conversation. Or at least I'm gonna try and ignore reading it, you know? If that's okay. Like, I don't want to publicly talk about someone or something personal. Especially if they haven't said so themselves. Hope that's okay, you guys. Alright, Bart bringing in the hot takes here with his comment saying Polish hero and his name is Baby Killer. Literal grown-ass man in baby's body. I'm out. What? Are you looking up Polish MCOC villains on Google and just reading them out? That's crazy. Samir saying fire spiral gameplay. Was it? I doubt. I doubt that's how you play her. Honestly, I was just doing anything. Like I was just playing as normal. I think. Okay, Aaron saying you need Yusafa plus Super Bros plus a few top whales to use BG's code, and he will be back. I mean, I doubt it, dude. I doubt it. No, they literally have given him a code. The code is legit. Watch his video. No, well, I mean, Samir, I agree. He does have a code. I'm not saying that. I'm saying giving him a code is definitely not the reason why he came back. But he is a significant enough MCOC creator that if he was coming back, it makes complete sense that they would give him a creator code. Also, BG is the most famous free-to-play MCOC creator. And him having a creator code just seems so funny. Isn't that ironic? Like, a little bit. But anyway. Just like it's funny. Not that it's anything mischievous, guys. Alright. Keep reading. Vega has kids, Abdo does not have kids, and Usafa is 47. Yeah, so definitely BG is definitely not the youngest. But yeah, Samir, I agree though. He is definitely a more adult CCP creator than some others. You know, Sammy is also married with kids. So definitely, yeah. We do have definitely some older, more adult creators, which is honestly a good thing for the game, you know? Or else we'll just have a bunch of kids yelling at each other. Alright, Isafa is older than Abdo. True. Vega got gray hair. True. Zemo saying LOL. Yes. Aaron saying Vega has entered Unk gang. I don't know. Is it just the age that makes you an Unk, or do you have to have... I feel like Unk needs to be more characteristics than age. But fair enough. If you think he is an Unk, maybe it's something I can ask him if if I end up meeting him at the Summoner Fest, if he identifies as an Unk. Alright, Bart saying, and actually 2 Serpent Society members are also Polish. My god, Bart, get out of the Polish villain rat hole that you're going under. Get out of there. Get out of there. Come join us back in the MCOC realm. But Zemo saying Sammy is younger than BG, and I think still, so that doesn't mean much. True, but like, it's all about maturity. You know what I mean? Like, if you have kids, you're more mature, I would say, than someone like BG, who I'd say he would agree that he is a bit more... Well, let's not let's not say that. I don't want to offend anyone. All right, Samir saying now once you hit 35, you an Unk. Oh my God, Samir, coming here with the hot takes. How old are you? I bet you're in your 20s to have said something like that. If you were anything closer to 30, you would not have made that wild accusation, bruh. Oh God. Arun Kumar saying Seifasi, another older Unk gang member. Bruh, you people are just going on a roast fest here. God damn. Okay, Zemo saying he isn't going. He said he isn't going anymore. Vega, really? That is insane. What video was that? Is it because he ended up... Is it because of some kind of bad blood with the whole CCP thing that happened? I'm lagging behind here. But goddamn, what happened? Oh, because of his whole boycott thing from a month ago? Damn. Dude, that's actually not... That doesn't make any sense, Loki. That's dumb. Vega should come for the event. This isn't just about Kabam. Like, this is a physical... This is like our Comic-Con, dude. You know what I mean? And Vega has a big channel. He has a bunch of people who watch him, who follow him. And like I'm okay with him boycotting because he's not happy with spending in the game. That's like, of course, that makes sense. If you're not happy, don't spend. No biggie. But like, I don't see why you can't just come hang out with fellow community members and still have fun. But I mean, it could be just that he's that upset. You know what I mean? Alright, Bart saying, and I'm 17, what am I supposed to be? Bart, I don't know. What's the opposite of Unk? Hard to say. Sid36 saying, damn, we got so many Unk content creators. I mean, I guess. Alright, Zemo saying, yep, correct on the CCP. Yeah, that's what I think. I think it's probably like some internal BS. Samir saying, Vega just been whiny recently. I mean, I don't... Like, again, I don't know Vega personally, but I wouldn't say he's been whiny. It's just... When you go on... When you go down the criticism path for anything, be it a game or a movie or something, and your community or your followers start engaging in that conversation, it becomes really easy to sort of get caught up in that, because then you're basically just doing non-stop follow-ups to your original criticism, and then it's just a whole circle of, you know, having to talk about, like, for example, if he made a video saying, I'm not happy with the game, I like the spending, the cash events, the balance program, everything sucks, this is not the good direction, it's not a good direction for the game to go. And then the next video he's like, alright guys, let me talk about my favorite MCOC champions in 2025. People are gonna be like, yo, what the fuck? So then I feel like he maybe feels obligated to be like more reserved in his enjoyment publicly of the game. But yeah, I can see how that comes off as being quote-unquote whiny, but yeah. That also happens with KT1's videos, which is he gets so critical of Kabam all the time that his entire like comment section and base, like, again, because I don't know anyone personally, I would never try and assume they're bad people, but it is undeniable that if you go to their live streams and such, you will notice that people are usually more critical there than they are happy about anything that's going on in the game. You know what I mean? So it might come off as whiny, but I feel like it's just like, I don't trust anything I see on the internet as definitive. But yeah. Alright, Zemo saying, Samir, he's always been that way. Is that about Vega? Okay, okay, Arun saying Bart waiting a whole year so he can drink. I mean, Arun, I wouldn't be so sure. Like in Europe, the drinking laws are not as tight as some other countries. You know what I mean? Alright. Bart saying, and yet I'm making better champs than Kabam. Arcade can confirm. That is true. But Bart, here's the thing, my friend. You are 17 and don't have to worry about money. So what you might be making is better, but once money makes its way into your life, the toxicity level just goes up and up and up and up and up. And when you're a company, forget about it. Alright, Zemo saying youngling. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. The opposite of an unk is a youngling. A child, if you might. Alright, Samir saying we could all make better chance than Kabam, bro. That ain't no flex. I mean, the bar is pretty low. I will give you guys that. The bar is pretty low. Alright, Sid saying reminds me of Spectre. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. Alright, wait. Zemo saying that's basically what he said in one video when it comes to Vega. Also, Zemo saying ain't wrong, Sith. Kinda obnoxious. Understood. Zemo. Okay. Vega is... I read that. Interesting. Samir, I get that, but he is being overly critical in my opinion. Yes, September was bad, but he just seems like he's got no hope, which is just a bad mindset. Yeah, I agree with that. And at the end of the day, it's a game. Like, you know what I mean? Here's the thing, man. When it comes to MCOC, I'll say this, okay? And I could give less of an F about what corporate agendas are when it comes to video games, but here's the thing. For a lot of people, video games are an escape. Okay? They're like a source of joy. No one is playing video games actively as a job. Even people who are creators who get to share video games as a job, like who get to pursue gaming as a job, do so because they're having fun playing video games. So you shouldn't necessarily go out of your way to spread negativity. If you're a creator, you shouldn't. And you are free to express your opinions, but you should only take it so far. That's all I'll say. You should only take it so far. If you're someone who is definitely in such a bad ways with a game, just step away for a little bit. You know? Like, if we keep, like, for example, if everyone in the chat right now kept complaining about how awful this game is, it takes away my interest from playing this game in front of you guys, right? And the same goes the other way around. It's like, let's say you guys are all doing arenas as well, and I keep complaining about, it's so annoying. Why do I have to keep grinding? The units are not enough. You're gonna be like, dude, just either play or shut up. You know? So, yeah. I completely am with you on that comment. Alright. Zemo saying, yup, Sid, that's why I really couldn't watch him. Alright, Sid was clarifying. SP, that's all I'll say. SP was very whiny too. He was very upset because of multiple champs of the same character. Phoenix, Jean Grey, Doc Phoenix. Okay, fair enough. Samir saying drinking is overrated. Don't look forward to it, Bart. Good point. But also... I'm kidding, Bart. Cover your ears. Zemo, yep, Sid. That's why I couldn't really watch him. Yeah, I don't know. I personally don't know if I've seen this creator that much, but I completely agree. Like, man, this is Marvel. Not only do they have the same character, they have the same character act differently in different universes, different dimensions, different times. Like, it's comic book logic. You can't really be bitchy about the fact that they have the same character. Like, every other game does skins, if you think about it. And would you rather have skins of the same champion, or would you have multiple champions with multiple abilities? I think I would rather have the latter. So, like, to each their own. If you don't like that, fair enough. But it's not necessarily worth bitching about, is all I'll say. But hey, to each their own. Eh. Okay, Lady D, get out of my way. Alright, Zemos. Samir saying gameplay has frozen. Ooh, my bad. I didn't realize. It just seemed fine on my end. I appreciate you letting me know though. I'll keep an eye out on the stream health in case it happens again. Samir saying SP wanted me to join his alliance a few months ago on Discord, and because I didn't use Discord, I didn't see the message until 5 months later. That's insane, bro. That is insane. Zemo saying he tried to recruit me as well. That's crazy. No way, Zemo. I doubt 4BGs will let you go. Zemo saying he only wanted me because I'm a whale. Are you? How many rank 4s you got? Double digits don't impress me, bruh. Take that baby account. Take that youngling account out of here. Aaron saying, nah, I get to decide will I play or not. I don't care if people complain or not. That's actually a very good, that's a very, very good attitude to have towards anything, honestly, not just video games. So I'm impressed by that, Aaron. We need more of that. Play the game if you want. Don't play the game if you don't want. Like, who cares if others are complaining? Samir saying Zemo at the time I was looking for an alliance and put in Chew Bomb's Discord, and then I just never checked my Discord for months. Nice. Zemo saying you're definitely not missing much. I bet. From what you guys are saying, I don't think I will be looking for that conversational channel regardless. Okay, Sid saying, yeah, it's like having only one Iron Man. Exactly. We don't want that. I love that we have Iron Patriot in the game. We need that. It's healthy. And Silver Centurion, because he does things also that we all know. Everyone knows what he does. Come on. Come on, guys. It's not like I always forget what his abilities are when he comes across a quest or something. I'm just messing, you guys. Alright, whoa. I really like the Gamora buff just because her big yellow numbers are so cool, but I just can't justify ranking her because I feel like where exactly will I use her? You know what I mean? I'm so picky when it comes to ranking champions because of my resource management being what it is. But yeah. Sid saying that he's also left his alliance and joined another one where you got P3 last season. Damn, that's nice. How hard is P3 versus G1? You guys, would you say? Because I'm coming from an alliance that was essentially in G1, and now I think I'll be doing more P3. I'm wondering what the difficulty level is from tier 4 to whatever P3's tier is. Bart saying, and here I'm not knowing what are we even on. Bart, that's how I feel most of the time. I have no idea what's going on. I am half paying attention and half zoned out. Okay, is this risky? I feel like this would be risky. I don't want a deathmatch. But I'm still considering going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just take Domino instead. And I'll do this instead. Just in case I get a deathmatch. Which I didn't. Okay. Okay. Aaron saying we have 7-star Civil Warrior. I know. Oh my god. So again, I don't know if you guys were here when I was starting the stream. I was talking about how I I'm making a tier list video, and so I was saving all of the PNG files for the champions, and that's when I realized Civil Warrior is available as a 7-star, and I was like, I had no idea that he was a 7-star, which is kind of crazy. Bart saying, I mean, once I've discovered him before, he literally by accident been looking for some content to watch, and on one stream I've seen a guy I know, Heat Blast, back on Twitter, helped him out. Ooh, I'm lost. Zemo saying a bigger difference but not super hard, to be honest. Okay, is it the difference with just nodes, or is it like champion healths and stuff? Because I was not struggling with G1 nodes at all. Like, I used to take all 3 island bosses and then the boss island plus boss every war. So I expect it to be difficult. Like, I won't be able to solo bosses, but is it like some funky nodes? I don't know. Bart saying, then I found his DC server after a month or 2. Nothing was happening, so I left. And it sounds like you did a good job by leaving. Yes, Bart. Yeah. Aaron saying his alliance is free to play. That's nice. Mehul saying BG friendly. Mehul, not today, my friend. I am trying to get arenas done, and I do not want to touch Battlegrounds at all. Just because of exhaustion. Like, I was dreading doing BGs, and then I had to basically play BGs for like 4 hours today, try and get the 100-point milestone, and I finally got it. So I was like, yep, that's it. I'm not doing BGs again until I absolutely have to. Like, basically when the meta changes for week 3 and 4, but not anytime soon. I'll try and keep this, I'll try and keep it to arenas and some other maybe EQ stuff in the next few days when we get a refresh. I think it's 4 days till the new EQ drops, so I'll try and do that on stream. I usually die a lot in EQ because I don't care about playing with focus, but I have a bunch of like revives and potions, so I don't care. I'll just do EQ with you guys and get wrecked. You know. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who's dropping by. If you guys don't mind, please drop a thumbs up so a few more people get recommended the stream. I'm trying to get 500 subs for the channel so that I can maybe monetize it. But yeah, that would be very nice. Alright. Missed a few chats. Samir saying, I know what big thing is. I'm asking, like, what is it you guys are talking about? And Zemo said about joining alliances. Alright, that's an internal chat thing. Alright. Aaron saying arena grinding for Absorbing Man Banquet. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think Absorbing Man will be that accessible with just units. And even if he is, I doubt he will be to me. Do I keep going with my 7 stars in this arena? I mean, I guess 7 stars don't trigger the deathmatch. So maybe. Alright. Mehul saying, how many units should I farm for a banquet? I think if you want to be in a slightly healthier place, well, as much as you can, first of all. But a good healthy amount to get something reasonable out of it would be about 15,000, I would say. The way they've been doing the banquet event in the last 2 years, I think the best outcome is for people who do a mix of cash plus unit spending. But if you're someone who just wants to do units, I would say 15,000 would be the target I would be going for. Hey, Elijah Brown is back in the chat. What is up, Elijah? How many episodes did you watch and how is it? Do you recommend? Is what I want to know first of all. And second of all, Elijah is saying, give me a second here. Alright, second Elijah is saying I'll be using my expiring potions on Epoch of Pain Path 4. The tech path? You don't need potions for Epoch, my friend. You just need a lot of revives. Because the way Epoch is set up, you can, like, you can solo almost all of the fights on the path. Like, other than one fight each path, that's going to be annoying. You're only going to need revives for Ares. And even then, your revives are... You're going to degen down to whatever health Ares is. So after the point where you get him under 40%, it just makes sense to use the 20% revives if you have those. But yeah, potions, you don't need potions as much as I remember. But it always helps, especially if you're playing it a little bit more casually and not with like intense focus. I can see how 1 or 2 KOs happen here and there. Samir saying I'm getting Absorbing Man 1000% no matter what. Wow, really? I am actually interested to see what the skill champion is. I have a feeling it's going to be Kingpin. And if it is Kingpin, I'm 1000% going to try and get Kingpin no matter what. Because not only is Kingpin, in my opinion, my favorite skill champion and the best skill champion in the game, he is also a champion who doesn't necessarily need to be awakened. So even if I get him once, that would be a massive W for me. And second, do you have any expectations from Absorbing Man as a 7-star, given the state of the game being so like Battlegrounds focused? Samir, do you think like Samir saying it could bankrupt me and I don't care? Well, I mean, if you don't have that kind of dedication to this game, then why are you even playing? So Samir, I salute you. And to everyone else, I would say stay away from Samir. He is crazy. What? Who was that? Who said that? It wasn't me. Elijah Brown saying skill is probably going to be Aegon. No, I'm almost 100% sure it's not going to be Aegon. I don't think people would care about Aegon as much. I think it's going to be someone a little bit more interesting. Because Aegon doesn't have any place in the game right now. And I think unless they plan to do another Necropolis... Whew. Speaking of... They did say they might announce another endgame content at the Summoner Fest. If there is Necropolis 2.0, 7-star Aegon could be the champion. You're right. I hope it's not. I don't want to see another Aegon, honestly. Unless they're like retuning him and making him viable for short quests and stuff. I don't want a 7-star Aegon. Nor do I think most people would want a champion that needs to be SIG 200 as a 7-star. But again, I could be wrong. Alright. Arun saying Absorbing Man and skill are in the Realm event banquet. So yes, units possible. I hope so. And a lot of people would like to see that. Elijah saying there's 2 episodes, so we watched both. If you like the It movies, you'll like the show. I did like the It. I liked the first It movie. The second one, I mostly liked watched because I love James McAvoy and Jessica Chastain. But I thought the second movie was kind of... It was just good. The first movie was really good. Like, I liked it. So, yeah. Elijah Brown saying, I meant the generic potions, revives, and health. I've done 3 runs so far. Oh, yeah, fair. Samir saying mid-pin. Excuse me, mister? You trying to catch these hands? Shame on you, Samir. How dare you? Alright, Zima saying Kingpin needs his dupe and Sigs. Does he? No way. Kingpin? Man, I haven't enjoyed him in a while. I do play him in this meta, but I can't remember. Ooh, he needs the 4 raid charges. That's true, that's true, that's true. Right. He does need his 6. Oops, I take it back. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I take it back. I do have a skill awakening gem. If it is Kingpin, I will give it to him. Alright. Elijah Brown saying New Everest next year. Do we know if it's first quarter of next year? Because I do think they're going to announce something Necropolis style for... What is it called? The Summoner Fest. Alright, Absman is a peak champion, though his playstyle got a little bit shafted with AI, with Light Intercept playstyle being a little off these days. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Bart. Like, he's a great champion on defense. Like, he's going to be a tank and a nuisance to kill. But at the same time, science champions have gotten a lot better since then. So, we'll have to see. And on attack, I'm not sure if he's a bursty champion. Again, I didn't have Absorbing Man until like a few months ago. And even then, I only used it on one of those side events that came out. You know, the one where you had to defeat an Atuma with Absorbing Man. So I ranked up my 6-star for the first time for that quest. And I have not played with him since. So again, I'm not an Absorbing Man fan. Someone like Samir might know better. And if he's as excited as he seems to be, I would say Absorbing Man would turn out to be a very good champion. Samir saying also he would be a Dark Phoenix counter. Is he immune to Nova Flames in his Incinerate mode? Or is it just insane energy resistance that would make him a Dark Phoenix counter? Alright, Bart saying hot take. It, Insidious, and Conjuring are my favorite horror movies. The first Conjuring, yes. And I could say the second Conjuring also. And Insidious, again, I would say the first Insidious. It kind of declines in quality. And I don't like the old lady spin-off Insidious. The Red Door, I think it was called. I didn't like that. That was kind of trash. But yeah, the first of all 3 of those movies was absolutely horror classics. Zemo saying he needs 660. Are we talking about Kingpin? Because 660 is something I can easily do. Again, this is all hoping Kingpin is, in fact, the skill champion. We don't know. He might be too good. Alright, Elijah saying Kingpin. Kabam thinks Kingpin is too overtuned to be a 7-star. I agree. Not that he's overtuned. I agree that Kabam thinks that, which is why we haven't seen him as a 7-star. But again, they are not really doing so hot with the community right now. And bringing some beloved champions as 7-stars is one way to get the community to like you again. Kingpin is definitely one of those champions, by the way. Zemo saying save it for Stealthy Goat and December Trust. Oh, absolutely. That's the original plan. So I posted on Twitter. God damn, my chair keeps slipping. Sorry. I posted on Twitter saying like I wanted to use it on Black Cat or Mole Man. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, honestly, I'm not falling in love with either of these champions enough to even take them to rank 3, let alone give them a 7-star Awakening Gem. I do know for a fact that I will absolutely love Stealth Spidey because I was a massive Stealth Spidey fan when he first came out. Hot take. This might be hot take, but I like Stealth Spidey better than Stark Spidey. I think utility-wise, Stealth Spidey is a little bit better. Stark Spidey is just such a damage nuke that he gets all the love, but Stealthy is secretly a better utility champion, in my opinion. In my opinion. So, yeah. Alright. I do seem to have missed a couple of more chats. Alright, Sith36 saying, if they make Necro 2.0, how many rank 4s will there be? I think when they make Necro 2.0, they will make it with the intention of selling, like with the intention of people wanting to go in there with rank 5 7 stars. I don't think they will tune Necro 2.0 for rank 4s. If you look at the whales right now, or even endgame rosters, there's a minimum of 15 to 30 rank 4s. So the Necro game focus will be towards rank 5 7 stars at the least. Right, Arun saying, reading chat stream, less arena. I'm sorry, dude. I am trying, okay? I am trying. Alright, Elijah saying, Sid, my guess would be rank 4, rank up crystals for completion, generic for exploration. But what rank though? I think it would be rank 5. It would be rank 4 for completion and rank 5 for exploration. That would have to be the bare minimum, because Epoch also had a 7-star generic awakening gem. And if Necropolis is gonna have to be harder, it's gonna have to have a better reward. In fact, I would say Necro could also have multiple 7-star awakening gems on their path completion, you know? Alright, Samir saying no, but he has very high energy res and reduces immortality duration by 90%. Yo! Absorbing Goat. Yeah, see, like I said, people like Samir who love Absorbing Man, if they know him to be such a good champion, he's definitely going to be a very, very relevant champion as a 7-star. I might add Absorbing Man to my tier list video before releasing it. Alright. Zemo saying, Arun, but they are part of the Realm event, not the Gacha box. These only work for the Gacha box champions. The Banquet Gacha box thing? Yes. Elijah Brown saying, if it's far enough away, maybe rank 5 for exploration. I think 100% rank 5. Yikes. Yikes. Oh well. I think rank 5 for exploration is kind of a duh. Because for rank 4s, people are not going to get hyped as much. Samir saying basically Nefaria is just a science absorbing man with the immunities and resistances. I agree. I agree with that. Also, I think if Nefaria wasn't sold for money, he would have not been as good of a champion. He was the first champion Kabam launched on the web store track as up for sale, and I think that had a lot to do with why he's so good. And unfortunately, I think they sold enough for that to become a thing with every other champion. But yeah. Alright. YOLO, I guess. Okay, Arun saying, watch it, welcome to Dairy. Yeah, Arun. That's what I was talking to Elijah about. When I started the stream, Elijah dropped by to show some love. But he said he was going to go watch the Edge show. Wow. Wait, is Mordo secretly goated? Why is his soul barb so strong? What the hell? Arun saying, well, after Kingpin nerf, he will be a 7-star. I don't think they will nerf Kingpin. I think now that the balancing program is dead, I think we will not be hearing about nerfs and buffs as much. Kabam has... Maybe this is just me being optimistic, but Kabam has used up whatever lifelines they had with this nerfing and buffing nonsense, that they're just gonna stick to making champions, releasing them as is, and focusing on just fixing bugs, if any, with champions. Like, for example, we won't see another Kate Bishop situation. Like, Kate Bishop was not supposed to have the amount of damage that she does. It's kind of a bug that they let exist in the game, and as a result of that, we don't have her as a 7-star. But they definitely won't allow something like that to exist. So if we ever hear about nerf, it would be them fixing something. And if Kingpin comes out, he will come out as he is. Again, the biggest thing Kingpin has is shrugging off debuffs and getting insane damage numbers. Patriot has the willpower healing that Kingpin would have. Call Obsidian has more damage than Kingpin would have. So, like, they don't really have a reason to nerf Kingpin and stir up drama necessarily. It's just what I'm thinking. What else? Sith saying they gotta put autoplay in Arena. No, unfortunately, Sith, I disagree with that. I think autoplay is a very dumb thing to exist. I don't know if you watched the videos that I've put on my channel, but in the second episode where I'm talking about game modes, I was actually suggesting they remove the daily event quest, because doing 3 quests on auto mode is very redundant game design. Like, it's like turning on the game and putting it on auto fight and then not necessarily playing is not how you want to design a game. You know what I mean? And we already kind of feel so drained with so many game modes existing that if there's more game modes that are just autoplay, it's not fun, dude. Who wants that? Instead, make it more interesting. You know what I mean? Make game modes interesting or don't make them at all is my suggestion. Aaron saying Epoch is the best content. Each path had plus 56. Aaron, I 100% agree with what you just said. I think Epoch of Pain is not only the best content, but the best, most well-designed endgame content we have seen ever. I like it more than Abyss. I like it more than Epoch and like the Deathless Mausoleum. I like it more than all of those. It is the best, most well-designed content in the game, and also it feels worth doing because it has such a healthy and relevant set of rewards that I think even in the years to come, that game mode will fare better than some other game modes like Abyss of Legends has fared. Like, Abyss of Legends, I would say, went out of relevance sooner than any other endgame content we have seen. I think so. Because it was so 6-star focused, and the moment people move away from 6 stars, which nowadays, by just completing story content, you kind of move away from 6 stars. Alright, Arn saying Kingpin is already nerfed. His SP1 ability accuracy got reduced. He was reducing it too much. Well, if he got nerfed already, then sure. What I'm saying is, when he comes as a 7-star, they won't change anything. Again, this is just wishful thinking. So whatever I say, take it with a grain of salt. I have no secret to... yeah, I have no insider knowledge or secret abilities of perception. So Samir saying Necro 2 will be the first rank 5 content we see, and it's going to be early next year. I can definitely see that happening. I don't know how early next year it's going to be, because like the early months, Jan, Feb, are usually considered slow for the gaming industry, I think. But yeah, Bart, I'm sorry, brother, I missed your messages. Give me 1 second. Samir's message. Okay, I read that one. Hold on. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Yep, I knew it. Yikes. Oh, I deserve that. Bart saying, I'm never gonna call Twitter by X. We're not Xing, we're tweeting. Oh yeah, 100%. Whatever moron thought naming it X was smart is dumb. Also, Elijah, I did read your message where you said that Twitter voted for Shang-Chi over Kate, so don't listen to Twitter. Yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, Zemo said Mordo is actually underrated as an attacker. His SP1 he has ability accuracy reduction. Mordo has ability accuracy reduction? I didn't even know that, bro. That's crazy. Come on, come on, come on. Don't drop it. Don't drop your SP2, please. I really like Infamous Iron Man. I hope I dupe him. I would love to take him to rank 3. And yes, Kingpin did get nerfed. He used to stack his decent, now he only does 1. I'd say that's fair enough. Ability accuracy reduction, it's not something I'm a big fan of as a game mechanic. I like ability accuracy reduction when it's more definitive and it actually does something, as opposed to reducing the chance of something happening, if that makes sense. Samir saying, I think that's a bad direction to go in. They should have launched it at the end of the year. They know how bad their champion design has been the last 2 years and just got lazy. Agreed, Samir. Agreed. Especially like the beginning years of any calendar year is very slow for what's it called, the gaming industry. So if you leave the calendar to turn over with your game being still perceived negatively, it does not help. And endgame content like Necropolis, usually it doesn't do anything for improving the game's perception, because it's usually such difficult content that other than the endgame player base, the average players don't like it. Like you saw the Wheel of Fate. Wheel of Fate should have been a knock out of the park Epoch style quest, but they decided to gate lock it to 7 stars and then made it so restrictive that I feel like most people who, by the time they get to a level where they would explore Wheel of Fate, the rewards will have been outdated. You know what I mean? Come on, Jack. God damn it. Okay. That may have been the worst spot gameplay you guys have ever seen, so please don't judge me. Alright, Bart saying they're basically cornered at this point, being vocal about that on Twitter and Discord. My buddies can confirm that. Yep. Alright, Zemo saying, read my comment about what I said about Gamora. About Gamora? What did you say? Oh, Zemo saying, Gamora is a nuke. She can even do photon. Just do SB2 to your... Just do SB2. Gamora is a very good nuke. You are correct. You know, when... What's his face? What's that? The Superior Iron Man buff came out. I was thinking, like, while he does have some good things to offer, I prefer Gamora because both of them have a similar thing, which is like nukes. They're both damage nukes. And Gamora's thing is like, I don't know, honestly. You might have a good point. She is a very fun nuke champion. I just, because I don't rank champions that often, I feel very protective of the resources. Like, for example, right now I have, what's her face? So I have Medusa, who more or less is also a damage nuke. I have, what's her face? Carolina Dean, who is also a damage nuke. And I would have to rank someone like Gamora for a little bit more than she's also a damage nuke. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm sorry. It's been 2 hours. I might be losing my capacity to think. But yeah, I'm just trying to get to 12 mil, guys, so that we can at least say that I completed one arena. And maybe I'll do a day stream or something tomorrow if people are interested, so I can knock out the second arena as well tomorrow. Ah, come on. Arun saying grinding arena is not so fun. Arun, it's not about fun. It's about it's about resource farming right now. And like, again, fun is such a relative word. You know, if you just have fun playing the game, arena can be the best game mode there is. If you like competing, go off to Battlegrounds, but then you can't complain if it gets annoying when you start losing nonstop. Samir saying, I honestly think they should have released champs this month or next. Take 2 months to fix all the broken and stupid champs they have let slip through, and then close the rebalance program. Samir, I think you mistake Kabam for a company that is capable of making good decisions. I tried to say that with a poker face. Dude, there is so many things that normal people would just be like, yeah, that's common sense. Dude, common sense is the most uncommon thing in 2025. Like, what they could have done is said that we are re-evaluating champions, but going into 2026, the rebalancing program will be dead. And that way, we know that they will reevaluate current champions and everyone coming out is excluded. But they decided to do the worst thing possible, which is like release a statement weeks, no, not even weeks, days and hours before when they were supposed to release balance notes on Dark Phoenix, their $1,000 champion. Like, if making bad decisions was a contest, Contest of Champions would be at the top of that contest. I mean, dude, yeah. Like, I'm glad the rebalancing program is dead. It should never have been a thing. Either release a champion, test them properly before you do, or just leave it as it is after the fact. This whole going back and then coming here and then going back nonsense. Like, how many times have they changed their champion buff policy? They started with, we're gonna buff 2 champions every month, to we're gonna buff like 3 champions every month. Then they were like, we're gonna do batch releases, 6-7 champions every 3 months. And then they're like, we're going to balance existing champions and do the rebirth reunion style thingy. And I'm like, just fucking decide already. Have a fucking philosophy with how you want to make your game and follow it. Like, come on. Like, this is a company that will say Serpent exists and we care about balance in the same sentence without even flinching. And I'm like, how do you do the things that you do? My guys, like, come on. But hey, it's the hand we've been dealt. You know, the management team at Kabam is what we've been given, and we have to make do with what we have. Arun saying April will be 9.4 and Act 9's, so the first rank 5 might be there. I don't know, dude. You say that, but 9.3 had rank 2 rewards. Ay, ay, ay. Spider-Punk is the coolest champion that I don't know how to play and so badly want to learn. Yo, what is this damage? I mean, what is this regen? He's so cool, dude. I keep Googling champions like Spider-Punk and Black Cat to see if other content creators have them at rank 3 and rank 4 to justify that they're really good champions. But most videos are about them taking these champions to rank 2 and being like, these are the best, this is the best champion. And it's almost like none of them have these exact champions in their deck as rank 3s. Like, the whales will pull champions like Spider-Punk out of their decks when there's like an intercept meta, just for the annoyance factor. But yeah. Elijah Brown saying why? I'm sorry, Elijah, do you want to let me know what you were asking? I blabbed about so much stuff that I don't know what that was. Alright, Bart saying for fun. Oh, you're talking to Bart. Okay. They basically acted like cowardly kids by doing even more cowardly things. Yeah, Bart, pretty much. They were like, here's the thing. We are so tired of making mistakes that we are going to make one more mistake so that we stop making mistakes. And the whole community is just like, excuse me? What? Alright, Elijah saying, Act rewards always kick it up a notch though. Maybe. But here's what I'm thinking though. Like, if they put 1 to 2 gems in Act, what's it called? Act 9.3. Now they can justify putting 3 to 4 in Act 4. And Act rewards could just be like a bunch of Titan Nexus and 7-star Nexus crystals. I feel like I'm kind of losing you guys a little bit because the viewer count has gone down significantly. Do you want me to do another? Can I do a few more fights and then, because I'm almost at 12 mil, you guys, and then I'll end the stream with a 7-star opening. Okay, I just kind of want to get it done so I can then go to the next one when I do another stream. I can just do the second arena. So stick with me, you guys. Come on. We got this. We got this. I'm also making up for not streaming yesterday. So count this as the extension for that. Alright, Bart saying, I swear if YouTube would have an option to send voice messages, I'd probably be abusing that. Oh my god. I hope not. You send like 7 voice messages in a row instead of... But you know what, Bart? I'm the same way. I kind of, when I start talking, there's like so many things in my head that I want to get out that I just end up breaking them into tiny, tiny bits instead of being able to like compress my thoughts into singular statements and conveying my message in a more clear way. So I don't want to... I don't blame you, but at the same time, I am going to make fun of you. Alright. Arun saying just to SP2. For Spider-Punk, yeah. I know he does need high sig and his rupture damage is really cool. But like, it's just a little bit. It's less than ideal, that's all I'll say. Arun saying, if YouTube option was to send a GIF, I would only talk in GIFs. That's wild. Bart saying, oh yeah, if there would be no limit on Discord, you'd be hearing me talking for an hour. Fair enough, Bart. Fair enough. Alright. Guys, almost done here. One more round and we are home free. Yikes. I hate Onslaught. Is Dragon Man middle? Not gonna risk it. We can just throw that fight low-key. But it's just a rank 3 6-star. Should be okay. Bart, can I just say, I am extremely glad Lizard looks fun. At least from the deep dives. But I hope he's actually fun. Because Spider-Man villains in the past have been so trash. Like, how long did we as a community beg for Sandman to come to the game? And look at what they gave us. Like, come on, dude. Dr. Octopus is like a remnant of a different time. Sandman is just ass. Mr. Negative is super mid to underwhelming. Kingpin isn't even available as a 7-star. Like, Spider-Man's villains are not having their best time. Wow. Dragon Man. That was impressive. Like, Spider-Man villains are not having a very good time in MCOC. So I hope Lizard is the champion that changes that. Especially considering how much people wanted him. Oh, come on. Did you guys see that? Oh my god. My heavy went through him. And he still dropped a special. That's toxic, you guys. Alright. Alright, my fellow summoners who managed to pit up with me for this long. Let me open up... Ooh, 3-star Frankencastle. Oh, wait, I'm gonna get a 4-star too. Nice. That's fun. Okay. We collect our units. And I don't want this notification. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go into the 7-star tab here. And yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time with that. I'm just gonna go with the 7-star. Okay, so if there's any new people here who don't already know, the only champion I'm chasing more than anyone is a 7-star Onslaught. And a close second is 7-star Jack-O-Lantern. Okay, these are two champions that I need to complete my roster the way I want to. And I've been chasing them for a while with no luck. So yeah, we've opened like 5 7 stars so far on stream and never gotten him. So come on, pray for me. I need you guys to spirit bomb me your luck, and hopefully we can pull a 7-star. Okay, 7-star onslaught. Let's go. Gonna tap it in 3 2 1. Bart, thank you, buddy. No blade. Yes, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Yay. Alright, guys. I guess the hunt continues. But yeah, I want to take a minute to thank everyone who dropped by. Bart, Arun, Elijah, Zemo. Who do we have? Samir. Thank you, Sid36. Thank you guys. I appreciate everyone and every one of the chats that you dropped to basically just encourage me to do the streams every day. Sorry to Mehul, I could not do a BG friendly today, but next time I do a Battleground stream, I will do a friendly with you for sure, my friend. So yeah, that's all, guys. Let's hope that we have better luck with 7 stars going forward. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream.